5,000 out, so I figured, why not? I was going to do the drawing, right? I'm like, oh, life-size drawing with ElJoe, but I don't really feel like it now. So I'm like, I'd rather just complain about my cats, really. But there's no complaint, dude. You want to see this? Oh my god, this lovey puss. She's such a lovey puss. Oh my god, look at these babies. Oh man, it's only got one orange one. Look at these little adorable things. Oh my goodness. Their eyes aren't even, they're healthy. Dude, I got another one. She had three babies. They weren't that healthy. She's got immune problems, dude, always have. But I kept her because she's, got the two different color eyes, and that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm really making those white cats with two different color eyes. I ain't trying to. Now I've got every other type of damn cat under the sun. Just starting a cat collection. How about losing vaporizer pens, dude? I check this out. I'm like, I'm going into the weekend. All right, I'll have a full one. I'll be like, I got a full one. It's cool. You know what I mean? Friday afternoon. And then I'm at home Friday night. And I'm like, bro, this thing's not only is it not full, it's like down to the nub. And like, yeah, because everybody's like partaking on it. Nobody's ever got no pens. So it's like, okay, well, that's cool. If I understand. Um, Especially now that there's not a place on every corner. But what corner? They're telling me like, bro, what are you from the 1970s? Like, boom, just go online. I'm like, yeah, that part, dude. Oh shit, check this out, dude. There is a lot to talk about, dude. You know that when we were doing everything before the internet on radio, the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is like in charge of monitoring the airways, and you cannot say certain things like the F word. You get fined for that. Remember Howard Stern and all that? And then the internet came out, and we're not broadcasting over the airways, it's not radio signals. So it's weird how the FCC, we got around that because it's not communications per se, if it's information, the information superhighway. It's all about wording and how you present things, dude. Just like I was told that because I was affiliated with people in the Normal organization. If you don't know what that is, it's an acronym. NORML, Normal. It stands for the National Organization for Reformation of Marijuana Laws. And it was a very highly skilled, in fact, that's the reason that you have medical marijuana and recreational marijuana today, and under the laws that they, Normal, had scripted. And it was on the board to go full recreational. And they said, no, 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 no. It's so much more important to do medication first, no matter how long it takes, because we've already come this far. And if you can argue something to be medically beneficial, you've won the war, because you can't argue any medicinal properties for alcohol. You cannot argue any medicinal properties for speed. Now, you could say, oh, yeah, they use it like Ritalin, and oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Medication for psychiatric use, for disorders, for things like that. That's a difference than a cure, an ailment. You know what I mean? Something that gets rid of pain. Like, nobody's going to argue, you know, with that, like just by putting that stigma to it. You can't argue for, medicinal. I guess you could argue anything, but they don't. That's the point. So if you have the opportunity, you have to jump on it, because you're associating it with positivity forever, and that changes the whole mess we're in now is because of the negative stigmatism and the fucking, well, we're not in that mess anymore, but we were before decriminalization, before legalization of marijuana. So, and NORML was the one that scripted that law, dude, for that importance. And now that you see it, like, wow, dude, you know, it's so important to argue things medicinally. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, dude? Like, for that reason, I forgot where the fuck I was going with that. I had a point, but I had a fucking point, and as usual, I fucking forgot it. But I don't know. I guess I'll remember it in a minute. If it was that important, you'll remember it. Fuck, dude. Anyway, there was a place on every corner. Oh god, I freaking forgot, dude. Damn it. It somehow had something to do with my cats. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows what the fuck's going on? Anyway, if you can argue it for something good, then you're already winning. Right? You can't argue. I don't even remember, dude. Never mind. Never mind. So, I was gonna start drawing a little bit, but I don't know, dude. I'm like kind of done with it. I guess I just need to just do the shoes. I guess I found some good examples. I found some good examples. Let me see. Going through my. I don't know what I did with them. I had some shoes. I might have drew over them. What? Oh well. I want all this armor, dude. I want it so bad. Fuck. You know what I really want? The halberd, dude. You know what that is? A halberd? Um, have you ever seen a halberd? Well, dude, that was the point of what I was saying about the you know, about the za. You know what I mean? Oh, really? Okay. All right. I'll show you a ton of cash if you want. Oh, wait. Let me cover my name up real quick. Not that you could probably read anyway. um, yeah, it's okay. You could fucking, whatever you guess, it will be wrong. You can't find him anymore, dude. You can't find him drugs anymore. You just can't, bro. Like, you can't find fucking fentanyl. I mean, you can't find anything but fentanyl. And that's crap. That's crap. It's got a yeah, it'll put your dick in the dirt, but it's got a half life of about 2 hours. That's why you see the people always with their dick in the dirt. And I got things to do, bro. You see me, I got like credit cards. You know what I mean? Like, I run a fucking business. You know what I mean? And I use performance enhancing drugs. Absolutely. That's how you get ahead in life, dude. I'll give you, how old do you think I am? So I was 49 years old, bro. I'm 49 years old, bro. So, and I'm sure because you don't have a fucking, you're too coward to show your face or any content, you probably don't look this good. So, you're fucking, you know what I'm saying? See? See? See, it's real. I actually have a lot of them, dude. Not like you could do anything with it. You know what I mean? I'm also in debt. But that's what the reason why credit cards will give me a certain amount of money. They'll give you a certain amount of money what your debt is worth. That's how the world works, you know? So, you know what? What you do is, well, the enhancement is the fact that I started my own business from nothing, right? I don't have a daddy like you do, right? Like I've never even met him, bro. So I would imagine that's who showed you how to throw a football and that, you know what I mean? That's who gave you a ride to football practice. You know what I'm saying? And you're probably salty because you've been getting lifted up and put on your ass by dudes like me and you couldn't figure out what it was. Well, they didn't get a ride there by daddy, bro. They had to fucking run. That's how come they're stronger than you. And you know what I'm saying? And then there's probably a lot of like your sexual identity that you're holding back on because you're not confident enough to rock a man bun 5,000. You know what I mean? Because you're afraid people will think you are what you actually are. I'm not worried about it because I know who I am. So it doesn't matter, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like the day I stop attracting females will be the day that I'm like, oh, maybe I need to fucking change it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But as long as like yo bitch is looking at me, homie, and you yourself is too afraid to even put a picture of yourself, that's like the ultimate form of cowardice because you can't like, bro, I'll put my picture, my face up and say and do anything with zero fucking fear of you because you're not going to do anything in a million years. Like they couldn't even fucking, you know what I mean? Like open air fucking uh, 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 rally, you couldn't even shoot the president in the fucking head because there's just so much going on and you don't have it in you anymore, dude. You don't come from a time era. You know what I'm saying? And daddy didn't, you know what I mean? Like daddy can't show you how to fucking shoot. He could put the gun in your hand and buy it for you, but you know what I mean? You're not even putting content out there. So what do you think the rest of your life reflects? If you're not even putting any content for fun, then I don't think you're putting any content out when you're dead ass, bro. In your dead ass serious life, not in a million years. So all you got to do is when I see a fucking dork, dude, the last thing I do is go into their channel because I'm just not interested. Like, what? But people like you are looking for somebody to go after. And the problem is because you're so insecure, you haven't figured out what is worth going after in life. You're just using your fucking junior high mentality, which is too scared to even wear the wrong brand of pants at this point, let alone a man bun 5,000, bro, and let alone ever have a hand, ever have a hand like to do anything worth a shit. But I'd wipe my ass with that. Now I could tell you, I've got a lot of things going on for myself. You wouldn't believe any of them. And because I don't give a fuck about like peon motherfuckers like you, because here's the thing: when you go to prison, when you go to jail, when you go into the military, if you're on a battlefield, dude, right? If you're walking the streets, homie, you know what I mean? If you're doing hand to hand fucking sales or any kind of sales, you know what I mean? Just meeting somebody on Craigslist, or you know what I mean? Like, why the fuck they're not going to just pollywop your ass and take whatever the fuck punk ass thing you think you're fucking working with? But that's how life is. And so people like you get shitted on, passed around, made to be do the dirty work. You know what I mean? And they think because you believe everything you're told, you believe that that is the way to success. I'm going to work a 9 to 5 and I'm going to be. Or your parents are making you do it because they really know and they just, you know what I mean? I, I'll smell bitch. Honey, you said, what? Aw, smell bitch. We're gonna make them get a fucking job to show them how, you know what I mean? But that's so like clueless. Like it's so like they're so cluelessly lost at that point. Like to have you where you're at now, like they've already failed so miserably. You know what I mean? But you know, like, you know what my kids are doing, dude? They're like researching fucking badass shit and bringing fucking badass shit. I never see them trolling anybody, bro. Now the fucking people I know, like customers of mine that have just I mean, they're super. Yeah, you got a lot of money, but your life is completely dysfunctional, and your relationships are so dysfunctional. They're not even in the closet. They're just like blatantly disrespecting each other and themselves in broad daylight in public. You know what I mean? In front of the help. You know what I mean? Like type shit. Like for real, dude. It's so out of control at that point. And this is like several people I could think of personally. And you know what? That's what their fucking kids are like. They're not into anything, not doing anything. They're just trolling motherfuckers and looking for somebody to cause a problem with. And it's always behind the platform of look at me, look at how rich I am, look at how fucking, but yet you didn't do anything. You didn't even have a choice in who you were born to, bro. You have done nothing to accomplish anything that you have. That's what's so funny. So that's going to be the first little rude awakening that you get in life when you go out on your own. Boof, and you see that, like, dude, if mommy and daddy fucking help you 1,000 times over, it's still not going to get you where you need to go, where you see other real men going and operating from. And then like you see a lot of people, like you see real men that like, yeah, they were positioned in a place, but so was their four fucking loser brothers who didn't do fucking home bats with any of it, right? But they fucking showed up and they put in the work, and now they're going to the fucking moon, right? But it's rare, dog. Mostly you got the dumb motherfuckers that don't know whom bots, and then they're just like that, just resting on the fucking accomplishments of somebody in there that came before them, that they had no like say in the matter, or there's nothing they could do or not do. At least the other kids like putting in the work. You know what I mean? Like look at Hunter Biden. He'll never be in politics. You know what I'm saying? Like you can talk shit about. I'll just say I'm not on any side or the other, but let's just take two really rich motherfuckers that daddy's boys that everybody knows about. Okay, that's the only reason I'm saying and getting into the political spectrum at all, because that's somebody. Okay, so George Bush, you have a lot of power, a lot of money, you raise some sons. Both of your sons, not, it doesn't matter if they had a C- grade point average or whatever. They put in the work. They graduated the school, man. It doesn't matter. If it took 8 years, then even more respect, because you stayed in one place for 8 years and did what you had to fucking do. And you didn't even have to do it, because the other people who I'm thinking of, like Hunter Biden, for example, look, you don't even graduate college. You don't even graduate fucking school. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy didn't even graduate high school. Like I can think of a lot of people like this, or they did graduate school, but they didn't do anything with it. They didn't do anything. You have a law degree, you don't do anything with it, but you have a contractor's license, but you're working for somebody else. Like it doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Because that's the kind of person they are, dude, on the inside. So it does. You could talk all the shit you want. Like, yeah, they were positioned in a place, but they showed up for work. They understood the privilege of that position, and they showed up, and they put in the work, right? And wow, imagine that, dude. And that is how life works. You can become the president of the United States with a C+ average, because it's not about what your average was. It's about showing up. And that's what Einstein said too. Like, yeah, you can argue about George Bush, this person, that person, Hunter Biden, the Bidens, but you ain't going to argue about Albert Einstein. Like everybody's in general consensus that that's, you know what I mean, a highly intelligent person. And he said the same thing. They asked him, what's the secret of life? What's the secret to success? What's your advice for the youth here? Just show up, man. Success. That was his exact words. Because I think he's the one who coined the phrase insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And they said, well, what's success? Success is showing up every day. That's it. You don't even have to put in your best. Just show up every day. Just show up every day. Just by showing up every day, dude. When the opportunity arises, you're positioned. I would add to that a little bit of hard work too. You don't have to hard work every day, but don't just show up and be there. Even though that is 90% success. I'm not going to argue with one of the smartest people of all time, but I would add to it a little bit. It's not going to kill you or take anything away to add some hard work to that. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's like, um, bro, bro, if I put a shirt on, you wouldn't be able to see that. And I have been, I mean, I was like, just show up to 10 pull ups a day, right? I'm not going to lie, bro. That first day, like, yeah, I struggled. I struggled at 7, but I made myself do the other 3. And then after that, like, it's like now I do, like, I'll do 10 pull every time I think about it. I just go over here, you know what I mean? In my 2-story house, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll just go down here. Right? I'll walk down the stairs. My 2-story house, because most drug addicts have like 2-story houses, bro. You know what I mean? This is my pull-up bar right here. But come on down. Come on down, man. In my yeah, this is where I live. You know, it's no big whoop. Just a little place. You know what I mean? Oh, it's some more creation of my own hand. I can tell you something you'll never do, but that's okay. I can tell you something I'll never do either, dude. That's probably put on a shirt. I mean, let's just be honest. I keep saying to myself, like, oh, I keep buying all these clothes, bro. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to buy expensive ones because I can't just have, like, I don't have room for so much cheap shit. So I'll get, like, really expensive shit. And then it's like, what? I'm not going to wear any of this, bro, because it's just so hot, dude. You know what I mean? So let's just continue on because I live all by myself. Like, I have to pay the rent by myself. Oh, yeah, I mentioned I'm into motorcycles. Got some of those in the front, too, but I don't want to get all into that, bro, because I'm not. Green thing. Thank you. Green thing. If I knew how to pin a comment, I would. You know what? Maybe let's see. I think I can do that. Um, I think I can. Um, I'm just trying to help the youth, you know, because I understand. I'm like one of the most. I've learned a lot about myself, and it's. I mean, not so much from YouTube because they'll just leave you to do whatever you want. But TikTok will really get in your ass, man, and in your personal life, and you know what I mean. Really tell you, and you know, I've learned a lot about myself. I am a completely 100% toxic individual, dude. They're very fucking dangerous, actually. And apparently, according to the Chinese Communist Party, like you don't have to be like that. Like you don't. You could, even if you hate everything and you're like hell bent on destruction, your best path to destruction, if that's what you want to do, is not going to be in anger, dude, or like uh, outbursting. And their whole thing, dude, is like on steroids. So I'm diametrically like, uh, so they've really helped me out to learn like other ways of thinking and how other people do it and how you could rise to the top and completely organize a culture and a fucking uh, uh, a formidable like world power with this mentality. And you don't have to do like you're not gonna fucking get there, dude, with anger and do you think that if Jinping at any moment started like fist fighting with one of the people in Congress and they were like, you know what I mean, it'd be exciting, it'd be good for TV, but from the people that invented kung fu and they're telling you this, dude, I take it, you know, to heart. And I don't even have that app on any of the devices in my house right now. I takes it off. And if I have like a video I want to download or I want to like go on there, I'll I'll fucking download the app and then they'll re-sign me in. If I've done it on the device before, it'll re-sign me in. But that's where I'm at because, and you know me, dude. You guys have seen me for 6 years now. You'd say like, hey man, when this motherfucker gets a feeling, It's not like probably right. It's not fucking, a good inkling. Like if we're just going just off a track record, it's a fucking 100% right. And I'm just telling you, like I go, yeah, hard press. I'll hard press you to go find somebody in the community, that enemy that hates my guts, that'll tell you otherwise. Like you're gonna find a hard time even find somebody that hates me tell you otherwise than that, because all the evidence is there. I haven't, you know what I mean? I think I've, out of the 430 videos that I've created in the last 5 years, I think three of them have been erased. And it wasn't because of like something that was said, or like it's so much more shallower than that. Like it's probably because I just didn't like the way my fucking hair looked or something, dude. And you'd be like, what? What? You got like some of the most craziest, most fucked up hair. How can, but just, it's weird, right? People are weird, man. I'll see like one of the weirdest, most mutated motherfuckers on their live going like this. They'll be like, ah, blah, blah, blah. They'll try to do it all nonchalant. They'll be like, oh yeah, I was at, um, and you're just like, oh, did you just fucking hair check yourself? Like, really? And but you're a mutant. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, at no stage. That's why I kind of wear them. I'm looking. I'm like, yeah, you're a fucking mutant, Joe. You're an old mutant at that, right? They're chronically chemically dependent, bro. Like, yeah, they enhance your performance, like, but the fucking after party, bro, the after effect, like when the makeup is off and the performance is over, like it's not pretty. You're right, dude. But like I didn't like I'm not going in on you being a fucking closet hoto. Oh, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying about the customers and the people that are bad people, and how I fucking noticed this this pattern. And with the cats, I was talking about the fucking cats, and it had tied into it that the people all have this, the people that are like that, they all have the same thing in common, dude, and that hateration, and that's what it is. They're fucking hateful. They hate themselves, and they're usually repressing something, dude, a feeling that they have about others that are of the same uh, uh, the, the same gender. And when you look at them, like, tell me if this isn't true. You see people, dude, people are like cats. Like, you see the same face. Like, the kittens have the same face. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? There's like the same look. Like, you could just kind of tell. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go so far as to say there's a handful that we're used to dealing with on a daily basis, but there's like a lot, like a few. See, I just did it right there because the little side hairs were sticking out. I'm like, okay, I'm not digging that, dude. You know what I mean? But I'm just not feeling like I'm not catching mutant vibes. I'm like, okay, I don't even own one of those ring things, right? So I'm not looking at that. I'm not catching mutant vibes. All right. What I am catching is fucking baby hairs going fucking all crazy. All right, I'll talk, man, but I'm not, you know what I mean? But if I was a mutant, which you've got to be, you're not showing your fucking profile pic, right? Well, if you do, it's like that much of it, right? They're semi-aware. At least that guy's semi-aware. But, bro, and that's probably what's going on with you. So you see somebody, and then here's the other thing. I figured this out too. This is what it really is. I'm going to load it up for you right now. You want to hear it? This will probably be the title of the video. And I'll have to fucking tag at what time this hating people that are haters, dude, and pick on other people or point out flaws and stuff, or like super hyper focus. Oh, Ghosty. Come here, Ghosty. See in my lap. He's got both his nuts. Um, so check this out, dude. When I should leave it up there, you know what I mean? But anyway, I just because I'm not. Everything is about being fake. It doesn't sound nice. All of us, even myself included, because here's the thing, dude. You want to punch people in the face, or like I'm talking about like people that you know that like they hate weed. They've locked stoners up. If it was up to them, they'd make weed illegal, and they're always like, hey, what you got there? What is it? You know what I mean? Like that kind of. You know, you want to punch them in the fucking face, right? Or they'll come over and say something like you know what I mean? Like to your kid. Hey kids, did your dad smoke his fucking weed today or something like that, right? And like, bro, that's over the separate lines, right? Like you want to punch that person in the face, and rightfully so, right? But you don't. But you don't. Because you know there's consequences and right? And that act of like it's you hate that person, you want to punch him in the face, but you don't, and you tolerate him, and if you know what I mean, your paths cross, like if there's words exchanged, whatever, but you're putting up a front, dude. At the worst cases scenario, right? Now, if you're going to work, that's all of us, right? Work, you have to do it. You don't want to be there. You don't give a fuck about what the fuck they're talking about, or you have your own ideas, whatever, but you pretend like, oh, they're so smart and they're this and that. You would never let them know, right? Some people to the extreme. I'm not saying like me, I'm very real, right? But at least I hold back and fucking it is what it is because that's what we have to do as human beings. Period. Just in order to survive. Now, if you want to succeed, you can take it to the extreme. And we all know these people on the job site, the ass kisser, the snitch. Like there's so many avenues, and people, this is what we do, bro. And they're everything about them, down to their fucking lust for dick, right? Has to be hidden because that's not acceptable, or that's going to cut them off over here, or that's going to make this person like think whatever. So they fucking hide that. And then what happens is they end up, what am I doing this for, right? Tell me if it ain't true. Everything that you went to school for, that you fucking joined up with, everything that you participated in life, without exception, you cannot name me one thing that was exactly like what you thought it was going to be. It's always different. And not only is it different, it's so abstractly different and disconnected from what you were told or what you thought that you just know. As a certain point in your life, you know, as a genuine rule, that nothing is actually what it seems like. And you always have to expect that there's, you know, something else that, you know, you can't just assume goes along with it, or you know what I mean? There's going to be an extra fucking cost or something else that I need. Or I'm going to have to upgrade this in order to fucking accommodate that. And we know this. And this is how we operate. And so, and you have to in order to get a high degree of success. And then you can pervert that and take it to the extremes and become the fakest motherfucker, dude. You understand? And be right there like this, next to the top person. Now, here's the thing. Now you have somebody come along that isn't concerned with material objects, or they've already figured out at a point in their life that it's not what they thought, or it's going to cost them more than they expected. And so therefore, they're not putting up a front. They're going to pursue the things that make them happy. You know what I mean? Like I see people changing the tires in the pit crew. You think they're highly paid? That's what they fucking want to do. They're following their passion, right? They're following their passion, dude. And I've seen the ass kissers do it too. When they get in there and kiss the ass of the top guy, they're lugging his bicycle shit around. You know what I mean? That person doesn't pay them the slightest bit of attention, but they're allowed to be there. And so they think they're doing something. But deep down, they hate everybody around them, man. And especially people that carve their own path or say what they feel, or they're not putting up a front, because They know that, first of all, you have nothing to offer them because you can't have any type of success or riches being that type of person. So immediately, I know you're of no value to me. And that's what we're doing as human beings. We're gauging every person we meet of what value are you to me. That's why a bum on the street is a bum on the street. And it's a very difficult ring to get out of because nobody's going to give a fuck about you because they're not going to get anything. Not only are they not going to get anything out of it and it's going to cost them something, but you yourself are probably just going to return to the pig waller and fucking all that work was for nothing and whatever. So it's like, why, like at the end of the day, why should you fucking care? You know what I mean? And you're not programmed to care. You know what I'm saying? You're actually programmed to kill anything that's attacking your cubs just by nature. So just by nature, dude, you're going to be repulsed by other people because they're a threat and a danger. But if you've been abused or fucking neglected or used in any sort of way or shitted on, that's even more so for you. But if you're on a quest for fucking riches, money, and glory, and you've become, you are scared of anybody knowing who the fuck you really are. You have to hide every aspect of yourself, and the expressing yourself would be the furthest thing that you would ever fucking do. You're gonna hate people that are like that because not only are you a threat to me and my shit, but you're not even after riches and money and power and stuff. So it's like, and then if you're not over riches and money and power, the higher up on that ladder you start to climb, the more you can. That's just like in poker. Where are my poker people at, dude? This is why I'm a diehard Texas Hold'em, like name my kids fucking poker names, like type shit. Because poker is life. That's why every politician, every man of power, every judge, every attorney, any person you ever met in business industry, fucking people that are climbing to the top in Hollywood, actors, like everybody from every walk of life that's super successful, they play fucking tournament poker because it's life. And you're reading people the exact same way you read in life. So it's a skill set, and there you go. And so in poker, man, you use your chips. That's why they have limit tables. That's why limit and no limit even exist. Because you can sit down at a table and let everybody post the fucking blind or ante up, and then I move in $30,000. Real money, dude. I don't have $30,000 to leave. If I'm holding the best hand in the world, I'm not going to push it in. First of all, I don't have 30,000 to even put in. So that person essentially is just stealing the blind, the pot, the ante. And people do that. And you can do that. That's why they have a dealer chip. And that's why that rotates to keep it fair. And then when people do that, motherfuckers eventually will call them and, try to run them off because we came to play poker, right? You know what I mean? That's not poker playing. That's fucking bull. It's poker playing if you use it a few times and you're positioned to do it and you're taking advantage of that tactic. But if you're like this, that's how you run your game. That's called slow rolling, bulldogging. It's not a favorable thing. But anyway, you could do the same thing in life. And that's what these type people do. As they gain more power and money, they can use their power and money to leverage people. And in the contracting world, people do it all the time. It's why we're on the system of paying once a week. Somebody figured out if you pay once a week or every 2 weeks, hold that one and make them wait for it, they're going to show back up. And when they show back up, they feel like they have, right? You're always getting paid. That's why they withhold the first one from you, is to put you in a cycle so that you're always a week behind. So not only are you picking up what you already produced, but you have something there in the pot for the future as a reason to come back. I have something invested already. I've already got my time and money invested in the coming week or past week already, but you're going to get paid for it a week. It's a tactic, dude. There's no reason to do that. And they say taxes and all that shit. Total bullshit, dude. It serves the purpose of what the fuck I just said right there, dude. And so here's the thing. You're going to use that money and power when people in contracting world, this is how they get you, dude. This is how they get you. You come in, and they say Donald Trump is the king of this shit too, by the way. You come in, but contract, I understand why though, because he's dealing with fucking thieves and shysters, dude. That's what contractors are. Mostly, like, it's hard to find an honest contractor. You know why? Because you lose. I'm an honest contractor, and I find that I lose because life, time is going to deteriorate you, your equipment, yourself, your personnel, everything. And if you're just charging an honest price, there's no time and effort, energy, and wear and tear in the cost, bro. There's nowhere does it say on the receipt, on the tax information, like bodily wear and tear, but it's a real thing, dude. It'll take your whole business down. You have to. That's where your profits go. So, are you being in business just to be in business, or are you gonna have to like take advantage? Like, I'm gonna have to mark up some shit, right? Or I'm gonna have to like put some things on for sale and draw you in, and then upsell you on some other shit. Like, that's how it works, my dudes. That's why they also say like it's easier for a guy to get through an eye of a needle type shit, because there's all these little things, dude, that go into being a successful business person. Now, can you be? This is the big question in ethics and business stuff. Can you be an honorable or righteous business person? And the answer is yes. And this is how. It's one of the founding principles of Judaism, and I believe the Quran talks about it. And I can give you a million Bible passages. You know this, man. That when both parties walk away happy, the buyer and the seller both walk away happy, feeling like they just duped the other guy. Like, they almost feel guilty. Like, I'm not trying to dupe, but should I get out of here quick? Should I give him his money back? Am I waiting? We're like, what the fuck? That's how you should feel. Like, as somebody that just sold somebody something. Like, dude, they paid way more than I was like totally expecting. Like, I made good money off of that. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? That's how you should feel. And then the person buying it should feel like, oh my God, I can't believe they just sold this to me for so cheap. Should we get out of here before they realize it? Or like, are we gonna, like, you felt like that before, dude. That's a good business transaction. That's what I strive for. That's why I don't really advertise, and Google puts my word out there, because my name is connected to a lot of, good shit, you know what I mean? And honest and reasonable, and not gonna have bring weirdos on your property, and not gonna fucking set up camp there with the expectation of being there for any length of time. I'm like a ninja, dude. And my business model is like a ninja, who are gardeners by day, assassins by night, dude. I want to come in. You knew I was coming, but you didn't know exactly when, or when you thought it was. And then I never heard anything or seen anything. But magically, all of a sudden, it's just done. And there was no like, is there going to be headaches? Are there going to be weird guys? Like, is there a problem? Like, wait, what? It's done. I didn't even hear him come in. I advertise the same way. I'll get on your property, bro. I'll leave like a flyer like under your bedroom pillow with a mint type shit, dude, for real. Where you're like, bro, like right next to your fucking $30,000 Rolex that you had on the fucking nightstand. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of shit I like to do, right? And they'll call you back. Believe that. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Your wife must have put it there or somebody, but I'm just telling you, because your reputation, and people look and they see like, oh my God, this guy has like a reputation for climbing into the fucking heart, not just climbing into the hardest reached places, but that's a couple, meaning more than 2,000 pounds, 60 feet in the air without letting one piece hit the fucking floor. You know what I mean? Like, getting into the second story of your goddamn unguarded and unfucking security set up house is no problemo. You know what I mean? Climbing over that barbed wire fence is no problem. I'm pretty sure I could trim your fucking loquat tree. You know what I mean? Like, type shit. But more than that, it's showing people that, like, dude, it's like a magician. You know what I mean? Like, this guy could fucking get in and like take whatever the fuck he wants, and he's not. In fact, he's offering you a fucking a deal for free that you could it has value. Once I give you an estimate, not it has value because here's why. You could take that now you have a price tag onto that work that you could use against other contractors. You could use against other contractors to throw it back on me. You could use it against other contractors to like not even fuck with me at all, not even say two words to me, just be like, thanks for the free estimate, asshole. I found a guy $50 cheaper just by showing you the flyer. How much would you charge me to do this? $400. Oh yeah, well look, this guy said 350. And he's just a leaving flyer on the door scumbag motherfucker. You're one of the premier trees. Like, all right, well we'll do it for 300. Like, not only did what I gave you have value, but you made money off it. You used it to make money. Right? And I just give that away. When I could have took your $30,000 Robux. Like that doesn't even cross my mind. It's just the only reason I say that is because it's like you're proving a point. You're showing somebody. I'm not molesting. I'm not soliciting. I don't want to knock on anybody's door and be like, hey, we're doing a promotion. I want you to not even know I'm there. And to know that my tree work, the work that gets performed, is done in the exact same manner by which I left the flyer off. Meaning you didn't even know I was there. You're wondering how the fuck this person got on and off my property without anybody seeing or saying anything. There's nothing missing. Somebody in the neighborhood has a camera, dude. Because I've had so many times, of course, I'm the first person that pops into your mind when something comes up missing. And you know what the fucking great thing is that they always fucking figure it out because of the cameras nowadays. And then they see that not only is it not Joe, but it's somebody that you least would have expected it. And that's how life is, dude. And people are going to come to realize this. I saw it in a thing. It was like the movie Idiocracy, where unless somebody has like all complete face covered in tattoos and they're out here eating fucking sparrows, you're not going to believe them or even think they're a real person, dude. In the future, by 2050, 2030, maybe. Definitely on the internet, you're going to like, no, dude. Because everything's going to be deep faked. And that's what I was talking about, the FCC and shit. So they lost it, dude. And the only way that they gained it back was by doing to Google what the government is trying to do to TikTok. Like, sell it to us and we'll allow you to keep running it and operating it, but it belongs to us. Or we'll just shut you down and get the fuck rid of you. And it'll belong to us. Right? And TikTok has a choice. They're tied to a sovereign world power. Right? Google, you didn't really have a choice. So you could see it. And so that's how a lot of things have changed. Like now, if you search for something that's got a pornographic nature, the images do not come up. They're blurred. That's because they don't want children or minors coming across that stuff, which was possible before. It's like there's a lot of little things you could see. Like the FCC has control, and they're allowing us free speech. But that's for a purpose too. Like, do you notice how, like, dude, there's so much going on. But for that reason, the credibility is going to go way down. Just like the shooter stuff that came out, dude. The credibility is going way down. And it's going to get to the point where, dude, you can only cry wolf. There's parables about it before nobody listens to you, dude. And then what? So my thing is, I'll get a vape pen down to the nub and I'll say, well, no, I got a brand new one. They're like, it's Friday. Well, I got a brand new one to last the whole weekend. And then I'm like, bro, somehow this is like down to the nub. It's not even full. Like, okay, you better get another one. They fucking down, yeah, what's up, my dude? So I'll go get another one. And I'm like, all right, I'm Gucci now. I got two of them. One of them's full, untapped. And then look, I put some down somewhere and they're gone, dude. And I'm like, what? So like that's the purpose of buying a backup. And now the backups, I'm like, fuck, dude, this is my life. Here's the other thing, bro. Those same people were so against marijuana for so long. And then all of a sudden, magically overnight, boom, they let the people have it. And it doesn't make sense, dude. And even like, check it out, dude. On the federal level, because like I don't want to get into like a whole bunch of stuff, dude. But I've got some involvement, dude. I've got some involvement on the federal level, particularly as it applies to Schedule One drugs, dude. And I am randomly drug tested. I get hit with randos, dude. At least for sure once a month, but usually it's two times. Sometimes it's not uncommon for them to throw a back to back one or to hit you with three or four in a month. Rare, but it happens. Like just to try to throw you off, or in case somebody's trying to like trick the system. You know what I mean? Or like that's what I've noticed. Like I have gotten called back the next day, right away, or 2 days later. And you're like, oh, I just tested. Like, yeah, well, that's what it is. So, and I'm telling you, dude, and they have no problem with the za, dude, with the Mary Jane, like at all, dude. Which I'm so grateful for because, bro, telling you, when you're dealing with the federal government, if one fucking T isn't crossed or one dot isn't I isn't dotted, it's like you got to do everything over again. I'm trying to get into government contracts. You know that there's thousands of them for fucking weed whacking and tree trimming, dude. There's one right here. Just hold on, I'll think about it. It's something so lame, bro. It's just this one little thing that needs to be fucking cleaned off, dude. Every now and then it just doesn't, there's like so much of it, it's a job in and of itself. It's not solar panels. I'll remember what it was. So I was looking at it the other day and I was like, oh my, I wanted to see. And sure enough, dude, you can go on the website and look. There's a website where all the jobs are posted. But you can't have like, okay, like, well, I guess a general contractor's license would work, but you can't like use your landscaping contractor's license to do a, a painting job. Like everything has to be like exactly specific, and that gets in the money because you have to. It does cost you like $1,000, dude, to take a contractor's license, and mainly that's because you have to have the bond, the insurance bond for whatever. I don't know what for what reason, but it's just more of the. That's like it's like what's you get in the government, bro? You fucking. This is what you're seeing, but ultimately there's a lot of money and a lot of contracts, and they're not difficult. You know, it gives you something to do all year. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but that's really cool because they pay a lot over. Like, bro, I'm telling you, just like a weed whacking thing that would take. Like honestly, if you just had the shit, all your parts, you don't have to leave to go get string. I got 20 packets of fucking string and like three weed whackers and you know what I mean, 10 gallons of gas and right and just staying here and doing it. It would not take you more than a couple of days a week. And these are like $10,000, $20,000 contracts, dude. It's crazy. So anyway, that's the same thing for the testing and the Zazizi and everything has to be in a fucking line. And I'm telling you, because I know people, dude, they'll like they had a bad day and they fucking went to the hospital and took a fucking the doctor gave them a Vicodin. Or And they know, dude, the levels are so low of like an dude, like they could tell exactly what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? And that person is like in trouble, dude. Like where you have to answer for it, and then there's like a bunch of maybe some consequences. A lot of times it's usually like if it's what you really said, it'll be another fucking rando test within a week, whatever. But you're like on suspended in fucking dead water type shit until that fucking happens. I'm telling you, dude. You're full steam ahead, doing whatever the fuck you're trying to do, or you're tasked to do, and then all of a sudden you get hit with that, and then because of that had some shit in it. Oh fuck! Now I'm suspended in midair. You're not gonna have that. I mean, I'm just telling you, it sucks, and it's rando, dude. So it's like fucking, and that's what I'm on, dude. And I've never even given a dirty test, not even for a fucking Vicodin or nothing. And because they're so fucking gracious, dude, and because Normal was so fucking smart that they knew to get that shit stigmatized by law as a medicine, dude, first, that you're going to benefit. And then, so that's a fucking tremendous blessing. Now, has it opened doors for other things? Yeah. Do I think that it works in conjunction with this other stuff I just talked about? Yeah. We know for a fact, because you can go look it up in the US Patent Office, that we figured it out. The Nazis figured it out. In the 40s, when we inherited a lot of their science and we worked in conjunction, they realized that you could broadcast radio frequencies at a certain megahertz bandwidth and it would affect the brain differently. And that certainly, is it like a fucking robotic joystick to get people to do exact? Not necessarily. However, if it's used in conjunction with bombardment of imagery, propaganda, nanotechnology, food-based ingredients, aerosol inhalants, that you could start like, yeah, exactly, Dan. Keeps me from a lot of shit, bro. There's been times when I'll admit the obsession and the struggle for me has long since passed. So I don't want anybody to interpret this the wrong way. Because I do want people to know, especially if you're in the beginning stages, that stick with it. That does happen. All that bad stuff does go away, and the desire and the obsession and shit. And once you've lived a different life for a long time, then you don't even think about it anymore. Then you get to the point where it's like, if you do, you're like looking at it like, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy. That's nothing like what I'm doing over here. And that just comes with stability, dude, and fucking regiment change. But if it wasn't true, then you wouldn't get assimilated into jail when you every time when you go, dude, or prison, right? You could even become more comfortable in a lot of cases. But yeah, that's it. That's it, Dan. That's exactly right. And for me, especially when I'm like at that's where I'm at, like one day at a time, and like maybe like a bunch of bad things happen or whatever. I don't remember what it was last time. But I was thinking in my mind, like, oh, you know what it was? Somebody asked me. Somebody was like, I need some fucking powder, and this is what I'm willing to pay. And it was like, and I needed money and shit. And for a second, I almost entertained the thought, but then I was like, first of all, you've got a kid. and you're in a totally different ballgame where you don't need anything that bad that God doesn't give you right away, especially because you're taking care of somebody else. So that part, bro, is just from the devil about the whatever they're offering is just it's from the devil. Okay, so that was it. But it got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? This chick is kind of hot, dude. And then like, what? And then now you're fucking yaying it up, dude. And I'm like, let me take a rip and I'm gonna think on it, dude. Cause I'm not like, I wasn't like, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just tell him no and to fuck off. Like, whoa, wait, hold on a minute there, buddy. I'm going now. Let me just make sure, if like that type shit, dude. I'm like, yo, bro. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you got a kid. What are you gonna do? Why? Even if like your fucking fantasy scenario plays out, like you're not in a position to do any of that shit, right or wrong. I'm like, yeah, that's right. This is why I'm smoking one, dude. Right? And now I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, got a pen in my hand, and I'm thinking like, yeah, because now I'm irie, dude. So now I'm irie, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe this for sure needs to be done right here. You know what I mean? And that's really like you get a text message being like, hey bro, I guess it's too late now. Just so and so said forget it, whatever. And I'm like, oh yes, okay, sweet. Like, yeah, baby. Cause I burned one, dude. I burned one, and any of that fucking devil shit, dude. First of all, it fucking puts it right out, and it's hard to be negative, dude, when you get high, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like now I'm like thinking about funny shit. I'm laughing. I'm drawing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? To do why I'm drawing, dude. Fucking listen to music. Now I'm digging through records. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even drawing anymore. Let alone thinking about what your fucking cocaine spree. You trying to start the fucking yeah. You and fucking Pablo Escobar over here. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even. I'm not even on the same planet as these motherfuckers anymore. Right? And you're right, bro. And I said that's how I did it in the beginning. In the beginning, big time, when you are obsessed and you haven't set up another life for yourself yet. And bro, so I woke up with 20 fucking pens, right? And that's the other thing. You have something to look forward to. You know what I mean? Even if I'm going to work to eat shit, I'm like, oh, it's so nice. The trees are so beautiful. God, I'm just so grateful to be out here. To think I would have sat in the house all day today if I didn't have to work. You know what I mean? Let's burn one. And then we're burning one. Like, oh my God, thank God for weed. Now I didn't even hear the birds before, dude. Now I'm sitting in a tree canopy and I'm like, whoa, dude, listen to all these fucking birds, bro. You know what I mean? And the parrots, homie, the fucking parrots came and landed by me, on me. I don't know if you guys have it. Dan, you're in LA. Do you guys have a lot of green parrots? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, no, alcohol is the worst. Yeah, no, that's for sure, dude. Yeah, no. Nope. Sometimes you need it, bro, because you're like, you have to fucking drive. How am I going to get out of here? Right? You can't, you're like, bro, I'm the guy that has one beer, dog. Not even one beer. If you pick this motherfucker, dude, mistletoe is out cold, bro. Like slumped over in the corner, like, and you're like, what the fuck, bro? From how many of these did he have? You're like, I don't know. I think that was the only one, dog. You're like, no way. And then you lift it up, the motherfucker's like half full and shit. For real, dude. If it's like a 12% or something, for sure, dude. I'll be barfing, dude. There'll be like a little barf on me, slumped over in the corner like that. But yeah, dog, that's no good. That makes sense, bro. Because I worked like a few years back. I did a job right there in oh man, it's right there in the fucking San Gabriel Valley. The fucking maybe it's San Gabriel Avenue. I don't know. Fuck, dude. I can't believe I can't think of it. It's a fucking. Uh, it's not Glen Oaks, but anyway, there's like a fucking factory. I was working at like some fucking um, thing over there, like some pharmaceutical factory, and um, fuck all the dudes, man. Like they hired some temps that were like from right there in San Gabriel, and fucking everybody had yay. And they're like, "Hey, you want one? You want a lime, bro?" And I'm like, "No." Actually, I didn't. You know why? Because it was when I first started getting clean, and I was like, I do not want to be all fucking yayed out, dude. Like I'm not drinking. I'm at work. I'm not. I don't want to be yayed out because then I'm gonna just want to get the fuck out of here to go get some black. And I'm just like, that's fucking lame. Yeah, perico, dog. I'm like, I'm not. Okay, okay. I thought you were talking about yay. That's funny. Oh, that's what they call it too. That's fucking funny too, though. That's why I got confused. But they were yayed out, bro, in the fucking Valle right there. Oh, that's great. So see, so they're all right there, right? You know why? It's global climate change, bro. It's not fucking. That was a rumor in San Diego that there was a bird lady that fucking let him out. Like I'm from the beach community, bro. So it was the Point Loma bird lady, right? Now check, dig this shit, Doug. So like, I'm like, are you sure? Like, it really sounds like urban myth type shit. And I was like, I've heard that from other people, and they were like saying OB, you know what I mean? Like, or Nazarene. Like, okay, we're like in the vicinity. That it makes sense. But I was working way fucking inland, like in fucking Ramona, dude, or some fucking shit, bro, like fucking Campo or something. And there was a bunch of parrots, bro, and they had the same fucking urban myth. They're like, oh, the bird lady of fucking Campo. And I'm like, bro, stop. That's what they said about some fucking fictitious lady in Point Loma. Stop, dude. Like, it's global change, because guess what? They're all over Tijuana. Big time, dog. But there's not so much orchards here. Like inland there is, dude. There's a lot of fucking growth, and over in like Imperial Valley, and there's a lot of them out there. But right here in the city, you see them, but they were just on the other side of the border. There's like a lot of fucking fruit orchards and fucking and just people, just genuine homeowners that don't have anything better to do with their fucking water and land than grow fucking apple avocados. Plus, that's like a thing that the wealthy do here. If you have land, it's figured it out a long time ago. Like you can just by having like a small grove of avocados or blood oranges or grapefruits, you can make $10,000 a year, like a quarter of an acre. Then that's a lot. You have a quarter of an acre, bro, of just trees. That's a fucking lot, dude. But you don't have to do anything. They have companies, bro, that come up. They have a whole assembly line that packs in off the back of a pickup truck or two, or a trailer, and they can just come in and set it up with the whole thing production line, or where they're boxing it into those fucking wax cardboard fucking boxes, dude, with the straps around that can hold like a lot of weight. It'll just be like full of processed oranges. And they have wholesalers, and they'll give you, they have a giant scale, bro, and they'll fucking write you a check or however they do it. I'm telling you. So it's like a common thing. So that's where all the birds go. A lot of them don't hang out here, but they're here, they're around. But the numbers that you see have exploded so much. And then the fact that they're here in Tijuana, and then like I've like been doing some research, and it gets more the further south and the more lush it gets, the more there are. They're coming from the southern hemisphere, dude, or closer to the southern hemisphere. So that's a real thing. Like for whatever reason. Wait, what? What? I will never, ever would ever do that with a fucking 9 volt battery or a butthole routers. That's Bruh. Yeah, so anyway, I was in a tree and they a loquat tree, dude, full of fruit. And the birds didn't know it. And I have like I have been Fox has just been making some hitter motocross shit, and it works great for work attire. In like Mossy Oak breakup, it's really cool. Like so, I've like been getting all that. I like it as my work uniform. So I had Mossy Oak breakup on, and the birds did not see me at all, dude. And they came in, I mean, like damn near like landing on me, like you know what I mean. But they knew, like I could see them like looking like they're like doing their thing, and they'd be like, ah, 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 like they're like, what the fuck? There's something right with this thing right here. And I was just, I mean, like this close, dude, where I could see like their eyeballs, the fucking feathers, like really good, like like really close in detail, like I've never seen before. They're really amazing little beautiful animals. And dude, they're so fucking cool. Yeah, they use their foot. They can like they're really dexterous. And, like they can just like hang balance on one foot really easy, and they lift their other one up, and they use it to grab fruit and hold on to it. And then they're like beak fucking hooks perfectly, dude, like a spoon. And then they have like little black tongues, dude, little gray stubby parrot tongues. They're just so fucking cool, dude. Just to watch them eat fruit. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even know you're in that tree, bro. You're just at a fucking zen moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I find the trees. The first zen moment. I'm like, I see something that needs to be done. I'm going to give you a free estimate that you could take. And now you have a price value attached to that you could take somewhere else to use against somebody else's estimate. You could like, and you didn't even know I was there, which means I don't want it right now. I'm not bugging you. There's no desperation. There's no, you know what I mean? I got in here, could have had free range of anything I wanted. Like at bare minimum, it's a seed. I don't give them to everybody. If your yard looks like shit, it doesn't look like you've mowed it or done any kind of giving a shit whatsoever, I would never waste my time and energy. But if your shit is tits, I could go down any street USA and find 20 fucking houses that are like this that are fucking tits. Except for a palm tree that has some like brown fronds hanging down, and you know because it's out of the reach of the fucking landscape guy or the homeowner, but it looks like shit, right? And I'm not going to charge you an arm and a leg. In fact, I'm probably going to give you a deal because I'm trying to get in, right? I just find that it's like, and I'm not going to knock on the door. I don't want anything. It's like a ninja, bro. I'm going to get in. I'm not only am I going to get in your property, but I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to leave the estimate under your Rolex that you have on the nightstand or under your fucking pillow with a little mint on it or something. You know what I mean? And you realize, like, hey, this is an honest person, man. And they're just trying to work, and this needs to get done. And like, even if they don't do it right now because it's too good to be true, or it's got to be some kind of trick or whatever, like, eventually, even if you don't fuck with me, when that guy you called comes and tells you, oh, I got $240, you go, the fuck? Well, this other guy said fucking $65. Like, let me go fuck with him first, right? And it's like, it doesn't cost me anything, bro, to take two fronds off and throw them in my truck. But now I just unlocked the key to your property, bro, and open the door. I wouldn't put $65 if you just had one palm tree on your property. Like, this person has like orchards of shit. And now I just discredit whoever you had doing the work. I completely discredit them because for one, they left your shit like that, so they're not capable. And for two, they were charging you 10 times what this man said. I don't know. That's just an assumption based on, you know, and that's it, man. There's your formula, brotherfucker. You ain't gonna waste your time doing anything if you're flipping burgers. Because you know what? I got put in charge of burgers one time, right? And there was about 100 people to feed, and I was fucking clueless, dude. I was sitting there pinching with the tongs, one patty at a time, and then fucking your boy Flux came in, who had he's like, bro, I have a lot of fucking I have a lot of experience in food service, dog. Don't trip. I got you to watch. And he took over, dog, and I seen that motherfucker was taking the whole tongs, even the shaft, you know what I mean? And picking up like 12 patties, dude, at one time, and then pinching them together and flipping the whole thing out. He just knew how to do it on a larger scale. And there was a big difference. Like those people were not getting fed, bro, with me doing it the way I was doing it. But just somebody that knew how to do it, it was like night and day. And like if I was doing it, yeah, I could see how I'd be charging you fucking $1,000. Like, how much are you charging me to feed these 100 people? Like, oh, over $1,000. Like, because it'd be completely overwhelming disaster for me, and I have to be worth my while to even attempt. You know what I mean? But then, how much would you charge? Well, fuck. How much would you charge, Flux? Well, shit. I used to do it for $20 an hour. I mean, fuck. I mean, give me 30. I'd be more than happy. Like, oh, that's fucking $300 less than what ElJoe told me. Okay, like that's just how it works in life. And so you're never wasting your time even flipping burgers because food service, that's probably even better than landscaping because the time goes by quick. And just like landscaping, you're not really there 8 or 12 hours. You're there during the rush, and you work so hard that you're doing 12 hours worth of work in 5 hours, 6 hours. That's how tree trimmers do it. Nobody works 8, 10 hours. You can't be out there like that. You know what I mean? If you work 8 or 10 or 12 hours, I guarantee two of that was drive time. Another two of that was loading up gear in the morning and unloading gear in the afternoon. You know what I mean? 45 of it was sitting in the air conditioned truck while you run to the dump and fucking dump it, right? Which is a hydraulic dump. You don't even have to get out of the cab to fucking hit it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not like out in the field for 12 hours under the sun. Like, and I think that's how food is. And food is more consistent. People have to eat, and the time goes by like that because everything's happening quickly. But the point of what I'm saying is, if you're young and you get into anything, even if it's flipping burgers, and I shouldn't say even because that's like a huge thing, dude. And the sky is the limit. There's no glass ceiling in culinary. That's fucking facts. And it's consistent, dude. The thing is that there's a tendency to needle dick you on the pay. I don't know. Uh, yeah, but that's a good anything. Anything you do is worth your time. As long as you have the idea that you're going to put that skill to work for yourself. And how you do it is you give people free estimates, man. You look for things that need to be done by people that look like they're maintaining what you're trying to do. And that's it. You just look for those. Don't waste your time advertising to everybody. Don't waste your time paying people to fucking put your name out there. Because you're still going to have to go make the call anyway and drive over there and give them the estimate anyway. You're still going to have to know what you're doing to make an accurate estimate anyway. So, yeah, no, I don't know about that. I make money, bro. I wouldn't be doing it. That's why I'm sitting home today. Yeah, that's not true, Rogers, at all. You make money hand over fucking fist. What you choose to do with it determines whether you're taking any home with you. If you ain't taking any money home with you at night, bro, then you're doing something wrong. Because even the banks, they're not even making any money. They're just holding people's money. And just the act of holding people's money for them enables them to fucking make money and bring a huge return. So that what you're saying is completely untrue. If it was true, then the banks wouldn't even be able to make any money just by holding your money. Like, if you know what I mean, just by holding somebody's money, you're making fucking money or you're able to do something with it. If you're not bringing home a return, you're actually out there providing a good or a service and you're getting it low, you don't even have to buy low. You can buy it for the going rate or even more. But you found somebody that wanted that product and didn't care about the price and they were going to pay you even at the markup. You're bringing something home. Like if you're not bringing something home, you quit that business and you try another one. Like it even says that in the Bible, bro. Like nobody does anything without counting the cost. You always count the cost. And in my business, landscaping, I'm not I'm the I'm the skill. I'm the labor. So I don't have to provide anything other than showing up, right? Except when I go to the dump. Now, if I loaded all your shit up and I got to take it out of there, then I have to put up my money. But usually, like just like the hospital, they don't when they charge you for an aspirin or they got to buy an aspirin and spend their money to give you the aspirin before you pay your bill, they're not charging you 0.013 of a cent that the aspirin costs. They're charging you $43 for the aspirin. They'll give you a printout. You can see the whole thing. Oh, aspirin, $43. Oh shit. Because after everything's said and done, all that, you gotta bring home a fucking return, dude. Now, legitimate high-end businessmen and investment brokers, they'll tell you that a 1 to or 2% is average expected return. You know what I mean? Or like when they have like a Jack in a Box or a McDonald's, you're gonna expect 2%, right? So in other words, if we spend $30,000 on burger patties and buns and employees and retail floor rental location spot, we're gonna whatever we if it's $30,000, we're gonna expect 2% of a return on that. And it's like that's why pharmaceuticals are so attractive because it's way more than a 2%. It's like a 2,000%. You're making something out of nothing, right? Although you may have to buy the precursor shit, but usually those things are pennies on the dollar. The only thing that makes them expensive is federal regulations. And how you get around that is you go to a country where they don't have federal government, like which is every country except the USA, right? The USA is federal government. Like there's just ways, dude. That's what they do. There's no illegality of outsourcing. You know what I mean? Nobody ever calls them out. But if you called Pfizer out and be like, hey, you guys are extracting this from this region and you know what I mean? Like like, well, it's we weren't we were under the impression that it was perfectly legal to outsource and buy low and sell high. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, if I were you, I would try to separate alcohol and alcoholism from keyboard typing. Because not only can I not understand a word you're fucking saying, but it seems to me like it's just like, oh, wait, there it is again. I smell bitch. Bro, people that complain or like bitch and fucking, that's something females do. Females look for like little bitchy things. Like I don't ever see any real men doing that, dude. Like real men that I know, they're like tall and big of stature, and they have a commanding presence on the job site. They usually like their own companies, and they don't even have to ask. People come to them. People see things that need to be done, and they fucking act on it because this person only keeps winners around him, right? And that person's stature and demeanor. I'm like, hey, I'd like to work for you, man. You're a top-notch operation. I've got 20 years experience. Really good at what you do. Like, okay, I see. Who have you worked for? Well, I work for this guy, right? And you know he had a falling out with him. So, oh, no, we don't get along so good. You know what I mean? He's not talking shit or like, oh my God, let me tell you this one time. I think that's bitch shit. Like you would just be like, "Whoa, that's like fucking female behavior, dude." That's what I'm learning is a problem with most men. The problem we're having now, dude, men and stuff. Fuck appearances, dude. Don't worry about what it looks like. But what does it act like? Is it gossiping and finding a problem? Because that's what females do. If you think about it, bro, that's what females do. You don't see no men doing that, dude. You don't. Now, men that act like females or men that was raised by females or they around nothing but females, right? Or maybe they like transgender or something like, okay, I could see how like, but you're acting like a female. And when like the insult can't come out fast enough, it gets typed all, you can't type fast enough because your own thoughts are just bombarding. Like that's female shit, bro. I've had somebody break this down to me. And it was the absence of a father being raised by females that I was able to be like, oh shit. And not only change my behavior, but start to look at other people and be like, oh snap, that's the nature, that's the problem with the world, dude. Is like men are acting like females or they're taking on characteristics of females, which is another thing, dude, about the FCC and the bandwidth and broadcasting frequencies in conjunction with bombardment of imagery and uh, 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 words and lyrics or whatever shows you're watching, all that stuff. They fucking get you to do and act and say and be the way they want you to, man. And we fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And they have been demasculinizing the man. Because you're not going to, dude, like people that are not manly, they're not going to rise up against the fucking oppressive regime. You know what I mean? They're not going to stand up for themselves if they're being taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never heard of an instance of females mass organizing to form unions or sending in goon squads to go break up labor organizations that are unionizing. You know what I mean? Like that's stuff men do, dude. You know what I mean? Men don't like say, oh, this one, like, you know what I mean? He'll whittle down a stick and go fucking put it in that guy's neck. You know what I'm saying? We've been like purposefully been directed away from all that stuff so that you're not a threat. And then some men, because we don't have any free will, God designed you to get up with the pair of nuts that you grew, and the nuts are driving you to have sex with attractive females, and you have no free will. You can repress it, you can fight against it, but eventually you're going to act on it because you don't have any free will. And now, and if you're not acting on it, if you're, why, what I believe we're going through in this country is like, you'd be like, well, then why aren't you satisfied when you act on it? Well, I am. Most people are. I was very satisfied when I was married and I was having kids. And I'm raising one of those kids right now. And I'm extremely satisfied. It's one of the most fulfilling things I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out how to make more, or I'm bummed that I'm maybe too old and it might not be feasible or possible to make too many more at this point. But because my mind, I was polluted against everything like that. You're being raised. First of all, they separate the man, get him out of the picture. So they encourage divorce and, being an independent woman and all that stuff. But everybody doesn't have the IQ to be an independent woman. You have to be extremely intelligent, dude. A man can go dig ditches and make a comfortable living, at least provide for himself, maybe even carry a person or two. I see people doing it in third world country. But women, there's not too many opportunities unless you're highly intelligent. Then there's unlimited opportunities, especially like pharmaceutical, you know, manufacturing, the medicine, you know, clinical medicine. I mean, there's just so many, like clerical, law. There's just so many things, dude. My daughter's a pharmacist, and that's just because she's on her way to become a doctor. In that course, you end up with a bachelor's degree, master's actually. But you know what I mean? Like, but I was told that it was bad. Like, you're gonna have kids. You're gonna, you know, you have to go to college. You have to do all this stuff, and talk kids into having abortions, right? Or not getting pregnant. When the reality is, if I would have had my first kid when I was supposed to, at 16, I would be in a way better position now, dude. Because there's no telling. He would have been at least a copy of me. I would have benefited from having another one of me, at least just to help me with his little brother or sister or whatever. But we were told, no, it's going to ruin your lives. You got to go to college. You got to do all this stuff, all these things that never ended up even happening. So that's where we're at in this country is we really believe it's better to like kill a life than so you could go on to fucking like what? Bro, you're better off having a shit ton of kids. That way, whatever your dream is, like what you were saying, dude, if you want to have a parrot breeding farm, you're going to be way better off with a bunch of sons or daughters than you would like hiring strangers. And if you do it right, though, if you don't, if you're abusive and neglectful, you hide things from them, or you're on some like weird shit, then yeah, they're not going to be worth a shit. But if you're like healthy and, you know what I mean, then they're going to be there. That's just all I'm saying, dude. So if I could do it over again, I would have more kids at a younger age because, for one thing, yeah, they're a lot of work, but you have the energy to do it. And instead of wasting my time, like, I didn't get serious, dude, until I was like 18. I was looking for a trade and sticking with something. And I was still like venturing off on all these little side things and like where you have dreams and you stop for a while to go. It wasn't until I had my first kid that I like really committed and became a professional. And then once you do that, you realize like how like much you have to know, dude, and how much time and dedication to really become a master of whatever it is you're trying to do. And it would have been better to start that journey younger so that I was younger and had more time in the earning phase, the application phase of that, you know. But that's all right. Um, you know what I mean? Um, it's just, bro, this is a weird thing. I noticed that you used to pop up in a lot of people's streams. And you would say one thing about this person over here, and then you'd be in another person's stream and you're the very same person you were just talking shit about over on another channel, and then you're there. And I used to just think for myself, like, bro, that's not what I want to do in life, is be a flip-flop motherfucker. Or like, here's the thing, dude. I don't ever want to be spit out of the mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's not what and that's in the Bible, bro. Be hot or be cold. You know what I'm saying? Be red hot, bro, or be ice cold. Because if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth. That's what Jesus said, red letters, bro. So it's nice to know the kind of person you are, dude. That you're the equivalent to fucking spit. It's the opposite of the reaction I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to like have a channel and make content so that people could pull it up and look at it and spit him out. And you have been spit out of the community because I say, oh, that's why he's a flish flopper, because see, he can go anywhere and fit in and kiss ass, even though it must feel like a weak link to have said something here. And I've seen these people. I know some of them are there, although maybe it gets to be a tangled weave. But it can't, or you're that dumb. That could be. It's probably both of those things. But eventually it's going to bite you in the ass because whether you realize it or not doesn't mean that that person sitting next to you wasn't in the other room. And then they realize, like, oh, this guy's full of fucking shit. Not only is he full of shit, but he's full of shit around some dangerous people, dangerous to kids. And then you realize, like, oh, that explains why their kids aren't in their lives. And then maybe me saying everything I was saying right now, talking about me, my kids, my life, you took it as like I'm doing some psychic medium fucking base on you. Like I'm basing on this guy. Let's chop this dude so low psychically. Like, oh, he thinks he's funny. You heard something about me and you're talking shit. Like, bro, I was talking about myself. But now that I see you, how triggered you got, and the type of flip floppy motherfucking lukewarm bastard that you are, I see why everybody in the community is turned against you. It's like no matter where I go, not only just turn against you, but they're saying like foul shit, bro. And it didn't matter. All the ass kissing you did to them, and all the flip flopping and like say one thing over here and then go to their channel and slob their gob, it didn't help you at all. You slobbed it for nothing. Because those same people are calling you on your shit now and saying like, bro, in public, pointing the finger going, this dude and his bitch are fucking low-life losers. And not only that, but they're highly toxic. They hate themselves and they hate everybody around them. They're miserable. Probably the alcoholism is getting the best of you finally. And that's where we're starting to see the breakdown. And really, bro, you just want to cry and just hug somebody. But it's hard to hug somebody with yellow toenails that are 3.5 inches long. Right? It's hard to bro, motherfucker, you gave up on wearing shoes. Your motherfucking yellow ass toenails are so long and the motherfucking toes are like fused together into fucking a long white lizard foot that you had to give up on wearing shoes, motherfucker. You had to go full flip flop, even in negative 14 degrees, which is like, bro, how are you winning anything in life when you live in negative 14 degrees? Like, I own 4 properties. Like, yeah, in negative 14 degrees, suck. The highest paid job is the fucking, the Quickie Mart. Like, people in that town's expiring, like, bro, stop. And then the fact that your kids, like, that's all just jokes and stupid and me talking shit. But the reality is, your kids ain't in your life, sucker. You can't find me one, bro. Content, kids asking for sandwiches, do all that. Oh, they're young. Yeah. They're young, and let's watch. They're gonna be right here, bro. You know what I'm saying? The fact that yours are not means, like, how are you gonna be like this to strangers and to people that aren't even strangers that supposedly you befriended? And if you had any real friends, you wouldn't be on the internet like that, motherfucker. So they are your fucking real friends that you have, and you're fucking turning on them like that, and now you're like at odds. Everybody's saying like, "Oh man, these motherfuckers is woo woo woo," but your kids, right? Duh. You're gonna be fucking like with your fucking kids, right? Get the fuck out of here, dude. With your shit, homie. With your fucking Edward Scissor Toes, motherfucker. Fuck, Dad said you got Edward Scissor Toes, bro. So that's what you're out here in these streets doing? Fuck, did they adopt you in their cookie cutter suburbs, and now you're in the suburbs with your all black gothic outfit on? You're like, I do hair. And they're like, ew, what are you taking off your flip flops for? Ew. Like, bro, nobody should ever start off a fucking a makeover or any interaction with you, dude, and the first word is ew. Ew. Lucky there was no kids there, bro, or they'd be like, what's wrong with your toes, mister? Like, shh, Johnny, shh. Ew, what's wrong with your toes? How come he doesn't wear any shoes, Mom? Phew. Bro, hey, So this motherfucker, bro. Oh man, I could destroy you, homie, in one Joe. But man, I just don't because I feel bad. I'm too nice. Man, my kid's right here, fool. It's like fucking right behind me, dog. Chilling. Just came in and fucking get the one, bro. You. Just the fact that you even been holding on to that for that long, and you're the only one that didn't forget about the Blue Oyster, bro. That's fucking Rodder's dream come true. He just said it right there. Like nobody, you just reminded us all about something, but it's been on your mind. Is that what it is? I can see it. You have that look where you and a dude would come like cheek to cheek and be like, dun, dun, and start like you know what I mean, where you're holding each other's hand. You go, dun, dun, dun. You're pressing your cheeks together. Dun, 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 dun. Every time he comes in the room. I'm just like, oh, fuck. Yeah, meet me over here, dude. We're having a thing, bro. You could totally fuck me up, but we're gonna be over here at this address. And as soon as Rodders gets there, dude, the door shuts and, oh, bro, I get it. And he's like, oh, finally, dude. Nah, I'm just, hey, you're cool over here, Rodders. It's cool, man. You can fucking, I feel bad now, dude. You just need a hug. You're tuning in. See, just let it go to show you guys, bro, about haters. So maybe I'm talking to myself. Those two kids that were in here are like, wow, you think this guy's. It's like, you think, youngster? It's like nobody's ever made a fuck. Oh yeah, I guess they have. I was gonna say nobody's ever made $1 by stating the obvious. You're like, that's what? That's literally the definition of comedy. What are you talking about? Like that's the definition of a lot of most things in life. Bro, yeah, you were. If you don't knock it off, dude, it's so bad. It's so bad that at this point, this late in the game, bro, only Jesus can save you. That's why they say I'm not gonna worry about it. But this late in the game, the chances, the odds that you're gonna do that kind of put the bottle down long enough to do that kind of self introspect and then admit where we've wronged and promptly make amends and then all that work, bro, that like that can of worms that you open up and like when you really see the load of work and then you take into consideration like the little to none that you've actually been willing to do just in life and survival up until this point. Like you were okay with riding a girl's bike, but that was good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with the fucking, you know what I mean? A single story in a fucking negative 14-degree environ. You know, I'm cool with that, bro. I'm cool. And and you were cool with it and you got everything that you wanted and it was a fucking disaster. And you weren't willing to do the work up until that point. So why the fuck would you do the work now after you're like on the fucking down like it's over, bro? I wouldn't even like I'm scared to say that any of us are even gonna be around for much longer, bro. For real. Think about how many. I can't be the only one. I don't know if it's just because I turned 49 and that's what happens when you start to get a certain age, but it's not, bro, because the people that are dying are not older than me. Some of them are younger, some of them are the same age, some of them are a couple years. None of them are like 70, 80, 90-year-olds. The fuck? and they're dropping like flies. And I'm looking at my own health and the quality of food and the access to food and just the way everything's going. I don't know, dude. Damn, Dan, you're so lucky, dude. Man, dude, you're gonna have to get it with me somehow, bro. I've been looking so hard to find some, and I just can't, dude. I guess I have to go online, but then you don't really know. And I'm like, bro, if you ever fucking like make a trip down this way, or like, bro, even like something, you gotta tell me what you want, what I could bless you with, bro. And then like, cause, or at least just tell me the right direction, point me in the right direction. Cause well, I've been looking for some mushies, dude. It's the speed of light, Rodders. Whatever the speed of light is, which is an exact measurement, that's your answer. Oh shit. Ooh. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But I gotta, yeah, no, there's no but. I like practice a little bit. And even on you, when we go to do it, we'll have like one size of a dime practice area, like, I don't know, you think of something like the Fox logo, or fucking, you know what I mean, the Mexican eagle eating a snake or something, anything that's like where I could just like, you know what I mean, get the fucking juices flowing a little bit and a nice clean line, like, yeah, bro, that's cool, I'm down with that little, and then just boom. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go, that's a good, uh, oh shit, man, my fucking. But see how you're like, I was thinking about this the other day because I felt like I was like, damn, man, I guess I was kind of fucked up to what's his name, to fucking Tyler. But then I was like, no, bro, because he was like running from something, or they chased him out of there, and he had no money. So it's like you're trying to show up here because with the intention of a place to crash. And I got like a kid, like not like it's a place to crash. Like that's fine, but I mean like where you don't have anywhere else to go. I'd be putting you out into the street. You know what I mean? Like you're putting somebody in that position, knowing that they're not going to put you out in the street, whatever. And I was just like fucked up, dude. I started getting mad. I'm like, wait, not only is he doing this on purpose, he had it planned. And then he threw me under the bus. He's like, dude, call my mom. She doesn't believe me. And like, not only did you give your number to a random person in TJ, your mom's personal number, and tell them to call you, but like, how old are you, bro? What kind of game are you running? That's what you would do? Like to your own mother? I'm like, what the fuck? And then it started getting me mad. Like, well, yeah, that's what he's doing to you, bro. He's coming expecting to roll off the turnip truck and just stay there because you fucking asked him and had to tell his mom here. I didn't even know what was going on. I was just like, wait, what? And then I figured out after he's kind of a manipulator, dude. Not kind of. He's a manipulator. And it's just like, I don't know, bro. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Plus, what you did to your neighbor, bro. You got like, bro. Especially with the political climate and everything that's going on, I'm gonna go out of my way. If I see like a black dude, even if he's doing something wrong, I'm probably just gonna leave it alone because I'm not the one, bro. It'd be better coming from somebody else, or you're just gonna think I'm being racist or whatever. So, you know what I mean? Like, but he didn't have that buffer because you put all that dog shit on your neighbor's yard, and then like I'm gonna bring that guy over here. It's crazy, bro. And the only reason you're leaving is because you're that guy. And you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, I just, I, you know, I say that because I'm like, oh well, when Dan fucking comes through, bro, you're not gonna be like, it's like, what do you mean? What Dan just said, and the whole premise is totally different than what Tyler had going on. like Dan's not leaving his house and all this shit, putting it into storage to come move to fucking PJ. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like that, and then like you're like, whoa, somebody did that. You're like, yeah, dude. Thank God that they were that the Google or the FCC, the federal government, has been bombarding you with images of Slab City to get you obsessed because they want to fucking get you out there. I don't know, for whatever reason. Somebody told me it's for DNA, man. That's what the bomber flies. The bomber flies are not a real bug. They're genetically modified, invented bug, insect, and they take the blood and they don't even eat it. They take it back to the nest, which is really the CIA DNA grab. You know the CIA and that the FBI and that fucking they have something to do with it because look at how many criminals get like mind controlled, like driven out there like a fucking controller, like a joystick. And then remember the murderers and how the cops were on their ass, bro, in real time. That was crazy, huh? That is people like, why do you watch YouTube, bro? That was the golden era. They were talking about that. They were like, the golden age of YouTube was like 2016, 2018. And I was like when Ice Poseidon, and I was like, yeah, that's true, that was. And they're like, and there was all the fucking, like everything, bro. That's when Mr. Beast started up. That's when fucking the Slab City shit was going full on, dude. I guess it's still kind of going a little bit, but like that's when it was like, I guess like you kind of got a generation now that hip to it and stuff. But I've talked to people from the 60s, dude, old hippies. And I'd be like, hey man, you ever heard of Slab City? And they're like, ooh, they got like a cringe. They collect DNA, dude, because they're probably cloning. They make clones. And the type of person that would even be entertained and try to go out to something that's touted as off-grid or no laws is typically a type of person that comes from the fringes, which you can't survive unless you have like strong genes and like resistance to bacteria and disease, and like all these things. And so, yeah, but the DNA that's collected at birth, they don't just have that, bro. Like, bring me blah. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about the lab, the cloning lab. You know? The people that they're not the ones that have that. I'm talking about you have other companies that are in competition with each other. It's not just one person doing it. So you have Boston Dynamics, Cellular Dynamics. Sorry, that's different than Boston Dynamics. Cellular Dynamics, you can look them up. It's a publicly traded company. And they will use your DNA right now to grow a fucking ear on the back of a rat or on the back of a, I don't know if they use rats anymore. Now they have a grow medium. They call it grow medium. And it's a culture of stem cells that are usually your own that they get to grow, just like how they grow meat. They get those cells to replicate inside of a sterile, like steel, what do they call those? Womb sort of thing. But it doesn't have moving parts, and well, it'll grow what the DNA tells it to grow, man. You know? But more simply than that, you could take stem cells, bro, and you could start to grow a liver, right? But you don't need more than a of liver. And you could plate, they found that you don't have to grow the whole liver, bro. You just grow a piece of a stem. of a liver, and then you put it onto the damaged liver. Like say you have like cancer or liver disease. By putting that new piece onto that, it will connect, just like if you have like do a transplant or a skin graft. Like the body will recognize that as a piece that got disconnected, just like any kind of scar tissue or healing, and it'll start to grow. And then here's the clincher, dude. You're like, well, how does it know to grow or stop growing? Like, it doesn't. But what happens is it knows how to grow, because when you're damaged, like if you get cut, your body knows in your genes, bro, and in its nature to start replicating the cells and healing that area. So when they put that graft, that piece that they started to grow in a lab from your stem cells, when they put that little graft piece over your damaged, rotted fucking liver, it acts as like any other part of the body when it's injured and it starts replicating. It doesn't like think, it has no like level of sentience where it's like, oh, I was going to a lab and I'm just a piece of a fucking tissue. What am I doing here on? It just identifies as, oh, I'm a piece of liver tissue. I'm here where I'm supposed to be at, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is there's damage. I'm going to replicate the cells and heal the damage. And that little postage stamp piece of replicated, grown in a lab liver from your stem cells will end up growing and overtaking that damaged, rotten, or diseased liver and completely healing it, dude. So they don't have to grow a whole fucking part. They just grow a piece and put it on there and it will repair. Now, I think the trick is, can they get that to be 100% of success in surgery every time? Because you could do it in a lab and all that, but to do it in a person. But supposedly, yeah, it's just super expensive. And I don't know, but like if the powers that be had the choice to be able to grow parts in a lab for future harvesting, just like genetically modified crops. You didn't invent a corn plant that had a resistance to mold and bacteria. You found a variety of corn that was resistant to mold and bacteria, and you isolated those properties and you bred it with other ones until you got the desired effect. And then you isolated those properties. That's how corn was invented, period. You know what I mean? Like, you seen baby corns? That's like really what corn really look like. And same with pineapples. And it wasn't until like we find like a genetically mutated one and then like isolate those and breed it with another mutated one until you get the desired properties. That's why there's only one person making pineapples. That's Dole. They own the patent. Nobody else is allowed to. Did you know that? It's a made-up plant, dude. It's a cycad that's about as big as your thumb. But because they found mutant ones and were able to breed them with the other mutant ones and now isolate that part of the gene, and we've seen it with MMJ too. It's how you're getting these percentages, dude. I have not, Dan, but I would. We should fucking... Dude, you know what I'm down for? I'm down with having a fucking YouTube channel meetup with the fucking OGs and the cool motherfuckers, and that being the premise, right? Because that'll get... Am I right, dude? That'd be the bet, bro. Somebody that you've known for years, but you're actually meeting him for the first time, would in fact be the coolest person to fry with. And by that I mean, like, because you're either going to be tripping and you're gonna go off in your own things, or you're gonna like fucking bond, dude, and be like, yo, and because you like the potential's there to be fucking epic, dude, because like you know each other and you have the same tastes and likes and sense of humors and you know what I mean? Be awesome. And we're all meeting each other for the first time, and we're in a cool environment. Well, it doesn't matter. Like I there's a lot of places we could we could do we could do a San Onofre. San Onofre State Park is a fucking great place because it's in central middle, so everybody only has to travel so far, and it's open. It's an awesome place. It's cheap. It's got everything there. Oh, plus it's perfect for frying and tripping, dude. A lot of people don't know this. I was that's my favorite spot, San Onofre, dude, and I went there for years before I realized that they had a cave system, dude. And the reason that you don't find it a lot is because it's dangerous as fuck, dude. There's manhole size openings in the ground in the fucking long crabgrass, dude. Right? You would never see. You're just walking, whip, and it's like a 20-foot straight tube drop. You would fucking get fucked up. I know people have. That's why they have them like you're not allowed to go in that area at all. But most of them go from that manhole tube to the shape of an L, a letter L. And then the part that comes out the bottom usually opens up onto the beach and widens out. It was like a fluted vent at one time when the ocean was probably at that level, and that's coming in and out is how it got routed out so good. It was probably one of those blowholes, like at the wedge, you know. But anyway, but the water level's way down now, and it's like this is all up on a cliff, far from the water, dude. You have to like climb, like okay, so there's all the beach and there's all that sand, and then there's all that wild area and brush, and then you go, up the hill a little bit, and then it plateaus off. There's more wild brush, and that's like the real canyon. Well, in there, you'll find a fucking cave, dude. It'll be like, oh shit, it's like the beachfront cave with the ocean view, dude. If you fucking glassed out the front, it'd be the ultimate pad. Except for all the critters, right? Caves have a lot of silverfish, cockroaches, like, you know what I mean? Dude, but this was like some caveman's Mac Daddy palace for show. And you have the escape route of that hole, dude, that goes up in the crabgrass. So bitchin', dude. But that type shit, frying, or Black's Beach. If you're gonna do it, dude. We go on a full moon when they're having a rainbow full moon drum circle gathering that they've been having every full moon since the 60s. I've gone there recently just to check and make sure, and it's still going on. I went there one time in the late 90s and met Jack Herrera on God, bro. And the only reason I know is because I was in the black and I was reading his book. It just was there, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm like, the Emperor wears no clothes. Let me check that. And I just started reading. It captured me, dude. And I read the whole thing real quick, sitting right there in the black. And his picture's on the back. And we went to Black's Beach, to Full Moon Drum Circle that day or the next day or something. And there he is, fucking sitting there. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, is that the guy from the book? And I was like, bro, I'm tripping, bro. You're totally tripping. You think everybody know. And then he had like an entourage. And I'm like, bro, who has an entourage? Why are all these people kissing this fucking dude's ass and they're around this dude, this scruffy old fucking hippie? What the? I'm like, that's him. And then the guy goes, hey, Jack, do you think? And I was like, I blurted it right out. I was like, are you Jack Herrera? And he like lit up. He looked at me and I was young, bro. I was like 19. When he looked and seen how young I was, he got like a surprised look on his face and he lit up and he's like, well, yes, I am. And then like the guy in his entourage who was like, hey, Jack, blah, blah, he looked at me like, oh, no, like Jack likes you. Fuck, now I got another like competition or something. He had like the look of like, oh, like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, fuck you, fucking weirdo. And I was like, and he was like, Jack Herrera said to me, God is my witness, he goes, wow, I can't believe, he's like, how does somebody as young as you know about me? And I was like, dude, I read your book. Like, I read your book. And like, open my, you know what? He's the guy that wrote the book exposing the con job that William Randolph Hearst and J. Edgar Hoover planned against marijuana, down to inventing the name marijuana because it's cannabis. It was called cannabis, and they invented the term marijuana. The magazine and newspaper magnate Hearst, you know who built Hearst Castle? They thought that if they gave it a Spanish name, first of all, Rodders, I don't think that they would let you bring a camera in there. You're not even allowed in there. It's not part of the. It's part of the base, but it's not part of the base you're allowed on as a training. Now they do come off of that and run through the streets of Coronado because I've been sitting there in traffic, and especially in the summertime when it's hot, they come through. But 3/4 of those people are gonna wash out. And this is what the fucking guy tells you, and he keeps telling you. Because maybe if you have that in your mind, you might not wash out. But 3/4, the guy to your left and the guy directly to your right, look at him right now, are gonna wash out, dude. Statistically. You know what I mean? I think out of 100 people, 10 of them make it. So why would I waste my time filming a bunch of fucking losers? Because that's what you're doing. Only 10 of those 100 people are gonna fucking make it. I'd rather go to the graduation or to that swimming pool where you have to like physically force yourself into asphyxiation because that's where most of the washing out happens. But I have I'm the guy. First of all, bro, I have like several customers that were given my name and they're real Navy SEALs. And they called me to do something that they couldn't do. And I know they tried because there was cuts made on the tree and there was a brand new chainsaw box in the garbage. So they made the attempt and realized I can't do this, bro. So to me, bro, it doesn't mean shit. 9 out of 10 people that are claiming that aren't even real. That or they wouldn't have a stolen valor channel. And then the people that did do that, it's like okay, and it wasn't what you thought it was, and you could have done 4 tours and never seen any action, but you're gonna tell everybody, oh no, this is. Now I met a couple of church real ones have seen combat, and their life isn't fun, and they'll tell you how fucked up and like how much therapy that they have to fucking have and all this shit, and they've never been able to maintain a marriage. It's not a glamorous thing, dude. In fact, it's a sacrifice that if you really knew, they definitely don't advertise it because then they wouldn't have anybody. But it's a necessary one. It's a necessary one. But and that being said, I'm not gonna like glorify somebody that's gonna wash out. I want to glorify the guy that like refused to wash out because that's all it is, dude. David Goggins did it, and he said it the same. It's the David Goggins principle, bro. You know what I mean? It's the reason. It's the difference between us, bro. Like I can't sit here and talk about it, bro, without going and busting fucking 10 pull-ups. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna talk about it, bro. You know what I mean? That's the difference. I could do a one-hander. Yeah. That's, bro, that's just, I'll do that 10 times a day. Well, it didn't take a team to do that. You know what I mean? I should have did that when the fucking people were talking shit. Like, bro, a stoner, a drug addict, somebody on drugs, or like be it meth, heroin, whatever the fuck, is gonna not only knock out 10 pull-ups, you couldn't, motherfucker, talking that shit, couldn't even do one, couldn't even do two. And bro, I'm like, I'm like 6 years shy of having beat the 27 club twice. And it's like nothing, right? I like to a guy, I guarantee it's like nothing to you. Like that was probably just getting the blood flowing. It's it's something in deep sand. No, 6 miles, that's respectable, dude. Yeah. I just, bro, I couldn't like, I was like, okay, you have to do 10 pull ups just to even be considered for Ranger school. Like, okay, right? David Goggins was talking about the seal shit for the pull-up bars and how, dude, how today he was talking about how today, but it's pathetic, dude. Somebody was telling me your average high schooler can't even do a pull-up. I don't believe it, dude. I can think of like, oh my god, dude, I could think of like 20 tree trimmers that can't do it, dude. Because I don't believe it or not, this is what it is. Whether you want to believe it or not, tree trimmers make a lot of fucking money. Like you're not working for somebody else, but if you find the right person, like I got a lot of clientele, I've made my money, I'm just like keeping this thing going or whatever, then I'm not greedy and I kind of like really kind of just doing this for you guys like type shit. Like, yeah, I know a few companies like that. You're gonna make a lot of money working for them. But by and large, if you work for yourself, if you're just a tree trimmer and you are doing your own thing, you're gonna make a lot of money, bro. And you're gonna figure out that I don't have to do the work. There's people that are eagerly looking for jobs and they'll try hard to do a good job, and that they'll do the work, and then they get fat, dude. And like most tree trimmers are actually a little bit overweight, and so they can't. I could think of 100 people right now that can't do a pull-up, but I'm not talking about them. I'm just saying, for me, right? If you active, bro, in the field, you better be able to, but because your life's gonna depend on it sooner or later. But you got ropes and stuff too, bro. You're like, nah, I just and I use my gear a lot, dude, and equipment. And I'm lazy as fuck, dude. You mean like, I will? I'll use it. I'll fucking use 20 pulleys, dude, and redirects like to a pickup truck just to pull fucking a log or a branch. Like, but so I was like 10 pull-ups. I'm like, what? Your average high school? I'm like, oh shit, I haven't done it in a long time. When I got injured, I couldn't even do one. Fucking yeah, man. So I was like, oh no, I've been like letting myself go. Oh shit, this is gonna be terrible. I did 7, dude. And I mean, I really fucking struggled on that 7th one. I was like, oh no. And I made myself hit the last 3, but they're pathetic. You're wiggling a lot, using more momentum to pull up than anything. And I was like, dude, I have to. You have to. So later that day, I did again. And then I was able to sloppily squeeze out 10. And I was like, that's it, bro. If what David Goggins is saying is true, you should, at any given moment, you should be ready to drop everything you have and go over there and bust. Because it doesn't cost you anything. You just pick your shit up and go right back to where you left off. Dude, if you're sitting in an office, anything, you know what stops you? Your mind. You're like, it's a lot of work. Fuck, shit, what? You know what I mean? For some reason, push-ups, Or worse for me, but I don't know, pull-ups. But dude, your stomach, everything. And then I gotta walk upstairs to get back. So I'm like, bro, what if I just fucking, if I did a squat and touched both cheeks, bro, or like kiss the flow with your fucking pie hole all the way down, dude, to where your ass is hitting the ground and you're using that momentum to bounce back up. Like that kind of squat on every step on the way back up the stairs. The only thing that stops you is you saying, like, oh, I'll do it in a minute or whatever. Look, I'll take you into my filthy bathroom. Take you into my filthy bathroom, dude. Anyway, it's just lovely that you decided to go to the bathroom on a live stream. You can't hear it though. And you're like, with the intention you're going to leave this up. Because I will leave it up. And then you can see how fucked up my bathroom is. But it's not that fucked up. It's cool. It's a bathroom. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted. I was like, I just don't want to shit in a hole or in a porta potty because they're smelly. You know what I mean? And check this out, dude. I don't fucking and it flushes magically. So you could put a blue thing in there, dude, that makes it fucking smell good. Here's the thing. Gary O, what's up, my dude? That's the whole reason I moved in here, man. I'm like, dude, I have a kid to raise. I'm just in this position. It's not what I planned on, but that's life. You have to adapt and things change, and I need to, I have to have a place. Like women and children need a hole in the wall that water comes out of like magic. And then there's another hole in another room that's dedicated just for this that you poop and pee in. And you push a button and it fucking goes down and away like magic. But that's, you have to have like a little room just for that only though, you know what I mean? And then, but I learned some stuff too, right? So like I moved out of the desert and like, because I needed that magic hole, right? Because I was raising a kid and then like in the chick, but then the chick left and whatever. All right, no problem. I still have to raise the kid. She left the kid, and he's a good kid. So and now I learned some other things like, bro, when you have a kid and they go to school, they fucking wipe their hands on their shirt, and like, so you have to have like another magic box that you put clothes in, and it connects to that magic hole in the wall that water comes out of, dude. And then you turn it on and it washes the clothes for you. It's crazy, bro. Right? Like, who would have thought? You have to have that, dude. Because, like, before I had that, I was like, oh shit, you can't. I saw a kid and they were like weird looking and smelly, and the parents looked like they were like not doing the right thing, bro. So I was like, fuck, I don't want to like be like that. So I gotta get one of these magic boxes, dude. So I got one, and then I put the fucking clothes in it, and then he puts like new clothes on. You know what I mean? I can send him to school. I had to send him to school because he kept asking me, Dad, what does this say? Dad, what does this mean? Dad, what does this say? I'm like, bro, I can't stop every 5 minutes to fucking read the shit. Like, kids have to go to school. Like, I've never done this before, dude. And I don't have a father. So I don't know, dude. I didn't know. I just like had a kid, and I was told like not to have kids, not to get pregnant, and like it was just if it happened, it was like the worst thing you could fucking ever expect to happen. I remember like I would like not only me but the poor little girl that I had like as a girlfriend as a youth was like, oh, we'd be so nervous every month. Like our lives were ruined. And then she'd have her period and be like, oh, whew, oh my god, we're never gonna do that again. And dude, if we would have had a kid at 16 years old, that would have been the best thing that either one of us could have ever done. Because now we're old. We're not together anymore, but I know her, and like I know where she's at, and she's been married to this dude for a long time. They have like 6, 7 kids. They just lost a kid and everything. Great people, wonderful family. God bless them to the fullest. You know what I mean? But we both probably would have benefited. You know, her having 7 kids, maybe not so much, but me not having any except, you know, my son here and my daughter. If I would have had a full on like 30-year-old by now, oh my God, it would have been a tremendous help. That would have been somebody that could potentially be like, hey, can you pick Alex up from school, dude, on this day? You know what I mean? Like, bro, hey, I got a flat tire. Like that kind of shit happens to me all the time now, and I don't have anybody to call. You know what I mean? You know, I know you guys would be there for me, but most people are like, they're not in the immediate vicinity. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about like people immediately in my life where like I've thought about it like a lot of times. I've been like, dude, I would have benefited from having a kid. That's really weird that we like discourage that in this country as like really told to believe that it's going to be a curse or it's going to take something away from you somehow if you have a kid when it's actually quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite. In fact, I'm always amazed at what these kids accomplish when left to their own. When raised right and left, like they actually bring things to the table, bro, that you were like, what? So anyway, but we were convinced, and everybody convinced you your life's going to be over, it's going to be ruined. And like, right? Nobody thinks that way in other, like, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't want to be like in a war torn area or in a drought or what do they call it, famine, and having kids, but definitely in the environment I'm in, dude, it would have been in my better interest, dude. And you know, it was a mistake. And so um, oh shit, dude. You know what? Dude, Mexico is building that wall that has a fucking they put the freeway on top of it, dude. It's crazy. It's fucking bitching. They actually got the decking going in now, and it's bitching, dude. It's so much cooler under there. The whole freeway. Now that when you're driving to the beach, the sections that are underneath, because they raised it, bro. They made a border wall, but to put fucking a decking on top of it so that you could drive on it, 4 lanes, and it's right across from where they fucking do the cameras all the time when they're reporting on the crisis. So that's really why they're doing it. They're reminding you who the fucking builders are for real, dude. And so not only have they made a whole bunch of tunnels, rodders, going under when they're digging the footing, and then they had a collapse. They were digging the footing, and then they had a collapse since it's all sand silt, or it's like, and just collapsed underneath. So that, you know, but there's also a section where the terrain is like there's like a little hill you could be standing on it and you're looking down on the border wall. You're looking, you know what I mean? And it's only like 4 or 5 feet away from what you know. You could literally just like jump over right there. So I think that's what people do. They don't jump all the way over, but they jump and they you land on the top of that wall on that plate part. And so all you have to do is shimmy down and there was a bunch of border patrol right there and Mexican army. So I think that there was like people trying to do that. They're definitely ahead of it, dude. I think something's coming, but I'm telling you, man, the first time that happened, it was manufactured. It's not real, you guys. It's a manufactured crisis. And other countries are sending people now to take advantage of that weakness. But it's just a manufactured crisis, bro. None of those people, put it to you like this. You see how the guy trying to shoot the president couldn't even get away with it? And you're from here, you speak the language, and you still couldn't pull it off, bro. It was probably an inside job. Like, you couldn't get any more advantageous than how that guy had it, and you still fucked it up. And so you lead me to believe that some fucking immigrant that doesn't speak the language, has no clue which street's a dead end or which one's what. I don't care how many times you practice, bro. Anybody will tell you that. They have mock-up cities, bro, and that they practice in for months, and then when they go, it just falls to a shit show because there's no substitution for the real thing, for real chaos and real fucking life. You know what I mean? Red light, right? A bunch of people over here with like, there's just no. And so if the shooter with all that advantage, it's an inside job. You got the CIA, the Secret Service, the local police, like everybody on your team to help you pull this off, except for the fucking people. They're about the only ones that are not on the team. They're on the opposite team. And you still fucked it up because the regular people are there to be like, look, somebody's up there. What's going on? And you think that like when somebody from like one of these countries, the Death to America club, you think that they're just going to be right there, dude. And they're going to be like, now is the time. The boss says the hammer drops. Now, jihad. And people are just going to be like, just like they did with the Trump shooter, right? They're not going to say anything. They're not like, bro, and that tape couldn't even be hidden. Like, that's out there for everybody. You couldn't even hide that after the fact. Just like you didn't have enough sense to plant weapons of mass destruction. Like, you just, it's like, it's almost like you're trying to be criminal, but you're not criminals. You're like literally the opposite. Everything that's the opposite of a criminal-minded person. That's why they can't ever bust them or catch them effectively. Because they don't have that mind, bro. You're looking at every stash spot except where somebody would actually stay. You know what I mean? Because your mind is like, you're trying to think like a criminal. There's a big difference from actually being a criminal, dude. You don't have to try and think like that. Because you are that. And it just comes out. But see, you're not. You're hiring the people that are the opposite of that, so they can't. Everything they think of is not the way a criminal would do it. And they're genuinely, how do you learn? I'm going to break it down to you like this, plain and simple. Because I learn by mistakes. Everybody does. You're playing a video game, you go down this way, it's sure death. You know not to go that way anymore. So when you start over, except this time I know not to go that way. You learn from your mistakes. Well, in the criminal justice system, we have, just like with the military, we have developed a system based on hiring practices of people that have never made any mistakes. We're going to do a criminal background check. We don't care what kind of person you are today. If you've ever made any mistakes, we're not going to fuck with you, dude. So you're hiring a group of people that have never made any mistakes. So how are they learning? From what are they drawing from to learn about life? I'm going to give you a hint. They're not, dude. They're clueless. If you cross the border every day legally, you'll know that. It becomes fairly evident fairly quickly. You're not hiring people based on how smart they are or how criminally savvy they may or may not be. You're hiring them based on whether they've ever made a mistake or not. And to me, that's telling, like, yeah, that's somebody that really, it doesn't prove any degree of morality, because all that means is that they just haven't been caught. And that's easy. That's very easy to do. You could be sheltered. You could be, not have access to. Like, there's a lot of things, dude, that could be. You're a very fallible person. You've just never been caught making any mistakes. But how do you get caught? Well, it's hard to catch people if they've never made mistakes. A lot of them haven't made any mistakes. Okay, I'm with you on that. I agree. Their practice and their demeanor says everything about somebody that's never made any mistakes, which is how you learn. They don't know anything. They're completely fucking clueless. So you're hiring clueless people that have never made any mistakes, which means they don't take chances. This is another way you learn. And it's obvious when you talk to them. Dude, I have them ask me the same question. Their mind is so far up their ass sometimes because they've never made any mistakes. So when you're coming into contact with somebody that's done nothing but make mistakes, it's obvious by their appearance. Your mind is thrown into such a mind fuck. The real mind fuck comes when you they can't even put the information in the computer fast enough. I'm telling you, this is what I go every day. And then when it comes back, whatever it comes back as, they always get like and most of the time they hand it to you angry. What's that about? Why would you be angry? They don't like what they see, or they don't understand how somebody that's made all the wrong fucking choices, they shouldn't even be alive, let alone passing through here, let alone be in charge of another life form. Like, you could tell, and it just burns their ass because they've never made any mistakes, dude. And you're chasing after stuff. You want stuff because nobody would ever take that kind of abuse and sit in that boring, that shitty of a job. And they really put you through it in the beginning. I'm telling you, dude. It's a culling process. You would never do that unless you really wanted something. And that's the trap, dude. And now when you're stuck in that trap, maybe you're pissed off. Or you're seeing a bunch of people that don't follow the rules, or they're not caught in that trap, and you know you're better of a person than them, you've never made any mistakes, it burns your ass. But the military says the same thing. They can't find anybody, dude, because they are looking for people that have never made any mistakes. How do you learn from life? You don't. You just have a bunch of dumb fucks. Yeah, that's anyway, I'm not trying to. You guys, this is the longest live stream I've ever done in my fucking life. This is crazy, dude. I can't believe I've been on this motherfucker for 2 hours. It's going to be interesting to see when Kamala Harris becomes president, because I would almost guarantee it, dude. If they could sell us Biden, and it wasn't even like it was like kind of fictitious, dude. It was weird. And then he's not even there, and they've been just like playing this game where they know he's fucked up, and they just let it ride. And then you think like, well, does it matter? Apparently it does. Whether it's a figurehead, a popularity contest or not, the decisions they make, they do matter, dude. And I do believe that they have experts that have all the decisions counter and, pro and con, and they've had the answers of what's going to happen which way, and those things were carefully weighted before they make decisions, because everything runs pretty smoothly. And this last year, I've never seen more economic hardship, more difficulty. It kind of proved to me that, like, It does matter, dude. It does make a difference who's president, no matter which side they're on. When we have somebody that's not there, or that you're having like people behind the scenes make decisions, it's all fucked up. I don't know why. It's weird. Even like gas prices are down a little bit. Like I guess I'm like everything. It's not that bad. Like it's okay, but I don't know. Just being like without leadership or knowing that your leadership is a senile person, that that's even possible to happen. It's kind of demoralizing, dude. And then I feel like because they're letting these greedy fucking corporations make the decisions, but the greedy corporations don't have to be looked at by the world as like the cause of this shit, dude. We do as Americans. And that's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up because you guys are doing the dirty work and we're the ones that are getting blamed for it and have to fucking pay the price. You're safe in your fucking bunkers and shit. It's foul, dude. But you know what, though? God knows, dude. And I'm gonna just end it on that. Put your faith in God. And Rodney, you put your faith in Jesus, man. Put your faith in Jesus. Go call your kids right now and say, hey, man, I just want to tell you I love you, man. I don't want to talk about any other, just listen. I love you, son or daughter. Go do that right now, dude. If they don't answer, leave a fucking voicemail.